Hello, and here's our third recording for Tangerine this week. We're on page 112, and it's Wednesday, September the 20th. I got my uniform today. Joey brought his over after supper. We went out back through the patio doors. That was a mistake. It was a bad time to be outside. The muck fire was particularly strong. I could actually see it and feel it and smell it swirling over and into our yard. And mixed in with it, I could hear a sound, a predator's sound, with the sound of Arthur Bauer's Land Cruiser on the other side of the back wall. It was the sound of Arthur and Eric accelerating, braking and sliding through the mud on the perimeter road. I should have told Joey to come back inside, but I didn't. We laid our uniforms out on the picnic table side by side so we could compare them. Joey's uniform is brand new. It has light blue socks, white shorts and a light blue jersey. The jersey has a white number 10 on the back and the word Seagulls written in cursive across the front. Pretty cool. My uniform has obviously known some previous owners. It has maroon socks and shorts and a gold jersey with a thin maroon stripe on each side. The jersey has a black number 5 on the back and a round black patch over the heart, hand sewn. That shows a ferocious looking eagle with arrows in its talons. The smoke was starting to get to us, so we gathered up our stuff to go inside. I hadn't noticed that the predator's roar had stopped. Arthur and Eric had quit their mud running and had driven around from the perimeter road to our driveway. I usually notice stuff like that, especially where Eric is concerned, but today I didn't. Just as Joey and I turned around from the table, Eric and Arthur entered the backyard through the gate. Arthur ignored us and headed towards the patio door. Eric, carrying all of his football gear, swiped at Arthur with his helmet and said, "Hey, check it out, it's Mohawk Man's brother." Arthur stopped and stared at Joey. He answered on their cruel wavelength. "I didn't know Mohawk Man had a brother." "Yeah, you did, butthead. The shoes. He was trying to take Mohawk Man's shoes." The two of them started to laugh. Eric said, "It's the hair that fooled you. No family resemblance." Arthur's picked up the banter. No resemblance, none at all." "I wonder if he's got his money back for those shoes." "Yeah, there was something wrong with those shoes. The kid had some money coming." Joey was clearly stunned by this exchange. He had no idea what they were talking about. But I did, and I felt sick with anger. Eric and Arthur continued on through the patio doors, passing through them into Mum's world, changing their ghoulish routine about Mike Costello into one about the National Honour Society or the student government or some other ball for Mum's ears. Joey turned to me with a pleading look. He said, "What are they talking about? Who's Mohawk Man?" "Forget it, they're idiots." "No, tell me, you obviously know." Joey was right. I took a breath of the smoky air and explained. "Joey, they're making fun of your brother. They're making fun of Mike when his hair got burned off by the lightning. They're making fun of you for trying to take his shoes off at the field." Joey thought for a minute, then he whispered, "That's what I thought they were doing." He sat down on the picnic table bench. "I should have punched them out for that. I should have tried anyway." He looked at me. "That's what Mike would have done. Mike had guts. He stood up to people when he had to." Joey's voice dropped even lower. "He wasn't a coward like me." "Hey, you're not a coward. We saved people's lives at that sinkhole, right?" "This is different. This is personal. It's about me. They knew that they could do that to me. They knew I wouldn't do anything back." "They're idiots, Joey. They're not worth it. You don't see me standing up to them, do you? I just let them be idiots." Joey stared at the wall. "I know a lot of those football guys are laughing at me because of what I did, because of the shoes. But I never in a million years thought they were laughing at Mike. Hey, nobody's worth thinking about is laughing at Mike or at you. Who are we talking about here? Eric. Eric's laughing at everybody. It's all a big joke to him. Arthur Bauer, he's a big zero. But now he's getting his chance right. He's going to hold the ball for Eric. But he's no Mike Costello, nowhere near. He doesn't have the talent. He doesn't have the character. So what's he going to do? He's going to mock him. He's going to put him down. He'd never do it to Mike's face, so he's doing it this way. He's the coward, not you." Joey may or may not have been listening. I don't know. Tears were pouring down his face. He tried to talk through them. I wanted to explain to Coach Warner about the shoes. I guess I thought I had cracked up or something." Joey let the sorrow pump out of him now like blood from an artery. "But I saw Mike lying there. Maybe I even knew he was dead. I don't know. I had to do something for him somehow. Mike always felt better when he got his shoes off. That's the first thing he did when he came home, always. He took his shoes off. And that's what I was trying to do." He sniffed and sat up straight. "It was stupid, and I wouldn't have done him any good. But none of the other things they tried did him any good either, did they? I shook my head. No. I know people are laughing at me. I hate it. I hate that school. I hate that football field. I hate that goalpost. So why don't you come to Tangerine with me? It's too late now. I'm on the split shift. Don't get off the split shift. Get your dad up there. They're afraid of him. Believe me, they'll do anything he says. Joey picked up his uniform and wiped his face in it. What do you mean? Why are they afraid of him? I opened my eyes wide with surprise. It seemed so obvious to me. Your dad's a lawyer. Your brother got killed on their property, in their care. They're afraid he'll sue. Joey looked at me dumbly, and I realised that the Costellos weren't thinking anything of that kind. They were mourning Mike, and that was all. I said, sorry, bad idea. I'll shut up, but I could sure use some company up at Tangerine. I bet you could. Anyone tried to kill you yet? No. Anybody mess with you at all? Nobody who's still alive? Oh, yeah, right. Joey rolled up his uniform into a blue and white ball. Okay, if I hop over your wall? Sure. I just don't want to walk past. He stopped and nodded towards the house. I don't blame you. How are you going to get to your house? I'll go around to the guardhouse. Joey pulled himself to the top of the 6-foot wall. He sat there for a minute before he said, so Tangerine's not that tough? I didn't say that. What about the soccer team? They got some tough guys on that. Girls too. Tough girls? No, but they got girls. And they start. Wow. Any chance I'd start? None. You stand next to me on the sideline. Joey turned and looked over the wall to the other side. He said, I'll think about it. See you. And he vaulted down into the mud of the perimeter road. Okay, some questions on that. Let's have a look. If I can find it. Hold on a minute. Okay, sorry, let's share the screen. There we are. Right, okay. So questions on this. Wednesday, September the 20th. Number 1, describe Paul and Joey's football kits. Try and write down a description of those, the colours and what they look like and what sort of animals they had on them. Number 2, what cruel things did Eric and Arthur say to Joey? Number 3, why did Joey try to take Mike's shoes off when he was dying? And number 4, what does Paul suggest to cheer Joey up? Okay, so pause, write in full sentences, please, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, number 1, describe Paul and Joey's football kits. Well, Joey's got a brand new football kit. It's blue and white, I think that's what he said, and had a seagull on it, which is like Brighton Hove, isn't it? Blue and white with seagulls. Paul's was second-hand, and it was maroon and gold with an eagle, and in the eagle's claws were arrows. He's carrying arrows in his claws. Number 2, what cruel thing did Eric and Arthur say to Joey? Well, they were just being horrible, weren't they, about his brother dying, and just really just taking the mickey out of him, and him when he rushed to take his shoes off of him when he died. And so they were just being so horrible and thoughtless to him. Number 3, why did Joey try to take Mike's shoes off? Well, it's quite sad that, but he's trying to explain that when he was alive, Mike preferred to have his shoes off. He always felt better. When he came home, he took his shoes off and he felt better. So Joe was trying to make him feel better, even though he sort of knew he died. He was trying to make him feel better. Quite touching, isn't it? Number 4, what does Paul suggest to cheer Joey up? Well, Paul suggests that he comes to his new school, because he's obviously got loads of memories about his brother dying at his last school. So he suggests he comes to his new school. And I think that would be nice for Paul too, to have a friend. Okay, so that's the end of Tangerine for this week. There is another video for some grammar work. So I'll see you in that.